Good almost afternoon, everybody. It's Love, your lonely trans girl, out for another ride on my buddy Masami. And I think I'm heading out to maybe like the Armstrong area. It takes a long time to get away from the traffic in Kelowna. It's a way hectic up in there, man. So, but anyway, on this ride today, I think I'll share with you this cool new visor. I got a neat new armored undershirt that we can talk about, and I have some like heavier things that I might want to talk about a little bit. Not to bring the mood down, but just so I don't feel like I'm faking happiness when I make my videos. It's interesting because I don't have a huge following. I don't do this for views. I don't do it for money. I do it because it's a fun, healthy outlet for me, and I just feel like I need to be super honest with that, because if I'm making these videos for me to see my growth and my development, and I can't just cover up the things that make the world a little darker and heavier. So I'm just gonna maybe get that off my chest so I can move forward with my year of positivity, because I've had some things that have slowed that or made it feel like a little more like performative when I'm being super happy all the time. So, you know, you don't want to be a downer, but I gotta speak my truth too. So, you know, so if you like motorcycles and you like quiet, twisty roads, if you like being stuck behind a wine tour van, or if you're interested in that I want to talk about, or the heaviness in my heart, just join me if you want to, and we'll head out to the Spallumcheen, where there's more cows than cars. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Hey everybody, I believe I said I was heading to the Spallumcheen, but I did mean to say Spallumcheen. You think I would know that a little bit better, having lived here my whole life and working for the post office, but hey, mistakes happen. Anyway, this is that tinted visor I got from LS2 from Fortnite, and it looks really dark and really cool. It's iridium silver, but I almost mistook it for a dark smoke because it's not as reflective as the one I got from Dragon Motorsport, but it's also clearer, like it's easier to see through. So it looks darker on the outside than it is on the inside. So I like that. It just kind of takes the edge off the sunshine, but it's not blindingly dark where I can't see the details in the road. So far, we'll see what it's like if I get onto some Forest Service roads, because that's where the tinted visor kind of really spooked me out. And then this is a thing I got too, is the Alpenstars Stella version 2 or something like that, body armor. And I do like that it has this chest plate. It kind of has like superhero boobs built into it, which is like, you know, I'm not incredibly well endowed, but boobies are sensitive. Maybe dudes out there don't know that as much as they should, but it's just like your nards, man. Like, so I don't necessarily, like, the men's one would probably just push on my tits a little bit too much and maybe make that uncomfortable, which is actually why I don't really wear my Kriega backpack as often, because it has these straps that go right over your breasts, and it kind of squishes my boobs, and it's not very comfortable. So kind of gone back to this little guy, but this little backpack doesn't hold very much stuff. It's like I can put my water bladder, a snack, and like a sweater in there maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure, like, I really like how this armor is snug, and I've heard that the whole thing will stretch out a little bit, so it does feel quite tight at first. But I kind of like that. My Revit jacket, like the armor, moves around a lot, and I feel on this stuff like the armor's not going anywhere. But on the other hand, I'm not sure how much air, like it does feel warm. So I'm not sure if it's going to be like airy enough, or more airy than just this Marrakesh jacket with the armor in it. But one thing's for sure, with this jacket without the armor in it is way lighter. Like and you can mush it out. Like it just feels like a kind of a heavy spring jacket rather than a bulky armor jacket. And then with the D3O armor I had in there in the back plate, I noticed last year on tour that the armor would get stuck in the waistline of my pants from the inside pocket in the jacket, and it was really uncomfortable. I kept having to pull my jacket out of my pants, and I didn't enjoy that feeling. So far this is cool. I'm gonna try it out with a jersey on my TW and see how that feels. But there's times when it's like I'm going slow and it feels like I'm overheating, and then I speed up and I get cooled off quite away. So I don't know. You can never have the ultimate solution, right? There's always give and take with stuff. So, but yeah, this is such a lovely area. And this is the Otter Lake Road. It's one of my faves. And there is a cafe called the Wild Oat Cafe in Armstrong. So I think I'm just going to take the Otter Lake Road down to there and see what they have for cold coffees. And get me a little treat like that. And then maybe just ride around behind Armstrong for a bit, because it's got some really cool roads and it's really rural and farmy. And not a lot of traffic. I like that a lot. That's where that Deep Creek Road that I've been on a few times is at. I might even hit that. I don't know. I think I'm going to take that when I take Peanut camping next week, so I might save it. But let's hit the road. I'll put you on my chin. Hey, a big chin, like a Jay Leno style, if you can all fit on my chin. Some first-person action. But yeah, so far I'm really digging this visor, and I did get a clear one as well. I didn't get a new pin lock insert, and I haven't put the pin lock in. I noticed that my pin lock was a little bit scratched up too, because I did get some dirt and mud in there. And honestly, the problem I find with fogging up is my glasses more than the visor. And that's more often in the wintertime. So in the summertime, I don't really have too much of a problem with fogging. So I'm just going to run it without the pin lock for now, because it's amazing how much those scratches were impairing my vision. And even with the tint, it's almost like I can see better with this visor than with the old standard one I had. And having put the little felt pads up in my peak, I'm not too worried about those scratches reappearing. But over time, like bug guts and stuff, that does scratch it up. So it was time to get a new one. It wasn't cheap. Nothing is cheap. I wish life was a little cheaper, honestly. It's getting crazy. In the camping I booked with for Peanut and I, is like, you know, not only do the prices go up, but now you have to pay a registration fee, even though you're doing everything online by yourself. So you're basically not even just unpaid labor, you're paying to book your own campsite. I don't know, man. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me where this is going or why, and why a family loaded RV pays the same price as me and my dog in a tent, or my motorcycle and myself. Like, that it sucks, man. I don't like it. I'm gonna take this way for no other reason than they call it, what's it called? Corkscrew Road. If it's not twisty, I want my money back. But yeah, what a pretty spot, eh? Motorcycling! I have a follow-up appointment on Monday, but I've been talking with the social worker? Yeah, it's a social worker for the gender surgery program in Vancouver. What an awesome program that is. But yeah, we were talking a little bit, and she assured me that I could head to Atlin on my holidays, and they'll say that my availability is anytime after July. So that's really cool, because that place has been calling me for a couple of years. I really want to see it, and you know, you never know what's going to happen to you when you go for surgery. Like, there's no guarantees, so I would like to see that before I go under the knife, just in case. And yeah, there's a lot of resources available to help me. So. I'm ready. Yeah, this is better. This is so much better than Kelowna. Look at this. I got no giant pickup truck up my ass or delivery van going slow in front of me. And these purple flowers. Oh my god, I love these things. I don't know what they're called. I just know that I love them to bits. They smell good and they're so pretty. Look at them all. Oh my god. Hey, there we go. There's the Spallumcheen smell. Like I said, ever riding, like, that smell used to offend me, but ever since I started riding, like, it just becomes such a part of the environment. You're not traveling through it, you're existing in it while you're there, and the smell doesn't bother me anymore. It's part of where I am. And I don't know, something about being on a bike, it just changes your perception of everything to a more positive skew. I would recommend it for everybody. Speaking of which, when I was getting Masami serviced, I went for lunch and I bumped into a couple of old, like, high school buddies that I haven't seen in a long time. I did see them at my high school reunion, which was very early in my transition, but it was, you know, I did show up in a dress. I thought I looked pretty okay. But yeah, it's just weird because you never know how people are going to react. But so I just walked into this pub across the street, and I saw this bike parked in the orchard, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I went outside to go have something to eat, and they were just sitting there. Yeah, they were all chatting. The bike belonged to one of the guys, and the other guy was, I've told you about it when I was out on the KVR on the trestle. He was the guy who used to catwalk across the across the trestles, and just every time I think of him, I think about him on a motorcycle, because they were so together, you know, like, he was always on a bike, he always had a bike, he always rode his bike everywhere, like it. And yeah, I think he might be actually getting one, even though his partner really doesn't want him to. But he belongs on one, man. He needs a bike. And so yeah, reconnecting with them is cool. If we can all get together and go for a bike ride or something, that would be fun. Yeah, so I don't know, experiences like that are positive because I feel awkward sometimes. I don't know how people are going to react to me. And they're sweet. They're just so sweet. So it's, you know, my therapist was saying I've been kind of hiding on nights like a little mammal in the dinosaur era, being all nocturnal and skittering around and shit. And it's like, it's time for me to step out to the light, especially with this upcoming surgery. Like, my transition's going to be complete. Like, this is who I am. And, like, you know, I can't hide for the comfort of the rest of the world. And I mean, my channel's called Lonely Trans Girl. I am isolated. I am transgender. Like, but I don't wonk on about these things very often because, like, at the end of the day, I'm just like everyone else, I'm just a fucking human being trying to make their way through this life with the minimal amount of bullshit and just being happy, finding happy things to do and things that make me happy. So it's kind of like the goal of this little channel is just to provide that little break, not just for the people that tune in, but also for me. Like, the world is very heavy, and it's like sometimes watching YouTube and I just get overwhelmed with all the bullshit, and it's like, you know, I can go back and watch a video of me going down a twisty road, and I'm not talking about world politics or trans rights or rednecks or fucking us versus them. Like, I'm just enjoying my day, enjoying my life, and I honestly think we need to see more of that and less argy-bargy, right? Like, as a human species, we have way more in common with each other than we have different. But the world seems to focus on those minor differences to the point of hatred. And I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't understand why people buy into it. Because it's all a manipulation tactic of us versus them. So the real shady shitheads can get away with doing the shady shithead shit they do, like. And I see it as clear as day. A lot of people don't. And I think it's starting to come more to the forefront, and more people are recognizing it. But I've seen it for years, which is another reason I just keep to myself a lot of the time, right? But it is getting old, I'm not gonna lie. I do miss people. Like, having lunch with those guys was so much fun. Like, so more of that, please. Anyway, we are almost at the Wild Oak. Look at this road, eh? This is one of my favorite. Like, if I could afford a house, I think I would want one on this road, because this road makes me smile. I just love it. There's all these like grown over trees. It almost looks like you're driving through a forest cave. Armstrong, you pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go get something cold and icy to drink, and I'll talk to you on the other side. Hey everybody, so yeah, I just finished my pit stop at the Wild Oak. It was super good. Just had like iced Americano, but they put some kind of like flavoring in it that was super yummy. I can't remember what it was called, but I just asked her to wing something up for me that was yummy. And I had a lemon bar. That was a super yummy treat too, but like $13, dude. Like, like the world's getting out of hand. $13 for a coffee and a lemon square. Wow. Okay. This is why we can't afford to have a good time or leave the house. So anyway, like, maybe we can dive into my heavier thoughts. Not super easy to talk about, but I've just been kind of trying to like ignore it for the last little bit when I'm like making videos, and something about that doesn't feel right. So yeah, clear the air. So in February, my father passed away, and in March, my children stopped talking to me again. Not only just stopped talking to me, but like actively dislike me and said a lot of terrible things to me and about me that I didn't realize this is how they felt. So yeah, and then the last thing on this list, well, I mean, the list is long and distinguished, but maybe the last thing for today is my addiction issues with cannabis. It's a lot. So, and that's honestly one of the things my children brought to my attention, was how fucked up their childhood was because of my addictive personality and the cannabis use, which always made them feel like a second priority. And I've been watching some videos of people that have quit using marijuana, cannabis, and this one guy said something that really struck a chord with me. He said that cannabis use hijacks your problem-solving capabilities. And so I can see that. Like, I've been bogan hard since I was like 16 years old. And I feel honestly sometimes I have the problem-solving capacity of a teenager. Like, I have a problem solving problems. And this is what this guy was saying. He's like, when you're addicted to cannabis, it's like your problem solving becomes super easy. It's like you have a little problem tree. It's like, do I have cannabis? Yes. No problem. No. Go get some. No problem. Right? So a lot of the issues I haven't honestly worked through in a proper way, and I've been masking them, and I have a lot of issues that I masked really hard, and it kind of made me an absent parent. And so on one hand, I do understand my children's disappointment in me, and it's valid. Like, I'm not going to say their opinion or their feelings aren't valid. They 100% are. And I fucked up. I did things wrong. I thought I was making progress over my childhood, but it honestly wasn't as progressive as I had hoped. And I was explaining this to my mom, because we kind of marry our fathers, right? And so it's like, her father was absolutely evil, and she married a guy who was extremely shitty. And I married a person that was covertly shitty. And so you think you're doing better than your mom. but it's still abuse in a different form. Like, you know, like, my dad was a dickhead to her. Like, he called her names that haunt me. Like, he yelled at her constantly. He berated her. He talked down to her. Like, and when he passed away, like, he left her with nothing. Like, the guy actively, like, she was telling me, he came home one day and was like, yeah, I retired early. I took you off my benefits package. I'm leaving you nothing. And so she was like, huh? And now she realizes, like, now that he's gone, like, they had a provision in his pension plan to take care of her, survivor benefits, and give her some money. And he took that away from her. He actively took that away from her. And now my mom makes less money than I do. And she has all these expenses to pay, and her expenses are higher than her income. So I'm glad I'm there to help her with that. But I don't have a lot either, right? Like, if I could afford to maintain a household, I'd have one. So, like, so honestly, like, going back to my father's loss, like, to me, it doesn't seem like that much of a loss on him. He was always such a negative force in my life that, and it feels kind of shitty to say, but it's honestly a kind of a relief that he's gone. Like, you know, I don't know how to explain that without sounding shitty. And that's even what my kids said, like, because they hadn't talked to me since like Christmas time, or even before Christmas. They never even said Merry Christmas to me on the holidays. And so my dad passed away in February, and they messaged me and was like, oh, sorry for your loss or whatever, right? And it's like, maybe this is one of the reasons we were fighting, is I'm like you guys don't understand how terrible this man was to me, right? Like, and they're like, oh, you know, like, he might have been terrible to you, but he's still our grandfather. And it's like, You can forgive a man that was that shitty, that would leave his spouse of 50 years with fucking nothing but debt and stress and the thought of losing her home, just so you could be like, haha, see, you needed me. Fucking twat. Like, the guy pisses me off a lot. I'm really sorry. He does. I know you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but what a fucking asshole that man was. He was a bigot. He was a racist. He was homophobic. And misogynistic. Like, all the negative traits a man can have, my father had them. And he was an alcoholic. He was a fucking drunk. And my brother was crying when he passed away, and I'm like, it's a different experience for me. Like, for me, when I think about my dad, he was home from work by 4, drunk by 6, and scary by 8. And that was my life growing up with this man, right? So, you know, like, and then I'd been like, if my children could forgive him for being all those things, how come they can't forgive me for being subject to his abuse and how much that fucked me up inside? Like, they always just tell me that I'm using these things that happened to me as an excuse to be a shitty person. And I'm like, it's interesting because I'm the one occupying this body. I'm the one who lives in this shell. And I know sometimes your image of yourself isn't 100% accurate, but I don't feel like the person they're describing. Like, they're like, oh, you're just an angry narcissist. And I'm like, I feel a lot of things. I feel a lot of disappointment. I feel a lot of sadness. I feel a lot of rejection. I don't feel anger. I know what anger feels like. And it's something I lived with my whole childhood. It's not something I feel inwardly or want to feel inwardly. Like, I don't want to be an angry person, so I really try not to project in that way, right? But then when it goes back to my ex, like, she has a pretty serious personality disorder called borderline personality disorder, and apparently it's pretty heavy. And, you know, we don't speak, so I can't really clarify, and I'm sure she would lie about it anyway. But I'm sure she's given my children this image of me, because even when they were little, they would never come to me with an issue or a problem. They'd always go to their mom, and their mom would come to me. And their mom called me angry and narcissistic. And so it's like, if they're calling me that, like, I can only imagine that's where it comes from. And a trait with borderline personality disorder is like, they would throw Jesus himself under the fucking bus to make themselves look better and to not lose their relationships. So she would do anything to keep our children loving her, even if it means hating me. And that's tough, because I don't honestly feel I deserve all the hate I'm getting. Like, was I perfect? No. Did I make mistakes? Fuck yeah, a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. Am I sorry for them? Absolutely. Have I apologized? Yes, I have. Is my apology accepted? No, it's not. So I don't know how to change that or how to make things better with them. I am seeing a new therapist. He gave me like a paraphrase of an ancient Chinese proverb where he says, like, you've got your shit, I've got my shit, let's not mix our shit together. And I think that's what we've been doing. But I don't know how to make it better and how to fix it. And he said, you know, like, it's probably not gonna ever be what I want it to be, or what they might have wanted our relationship to be. But he said it's fixable to a point of mutual respect. And I guess that's kind of the best I can hope for. But in the meantime, they don't want to hear from me. They don't want anything to do with me. And that fucking hurts, man. Like, it really hurts, because their mother was a dick. Like, a lot like my father. Like, I'm the one who worked night shift. I'm the one who came home. I'm the one who got them up for school. I'm the one who made them lunches. I'm the one who made them dinner. I'm the one who bathed them. I'm the one who changed their diapers. I'm the one who got up in the middle of the night to feed them. Like I dedicated my life to trying to give these kids the best life they could have, knowing that their mom was disabled, even though she can do everything she wants to do now. She just can't work or support herself. But, like, you know, I took it all on. Like I said, I even worked at night so that I could be there in the daytime for them, and none of that counts for shit. They literally told me that I didn't do anything. They raised themselves. And I'm like, I don't think that's accurate. Honestly, I really don't. Because I'm the one that suffered the fucking exhaustion and the burnout and had to go on antidepressants and all this shit just to keep functioning. And nobody sees that. Nobody seems to give a shit that that was my existence. And I didn't even realize how abusive my relationship with my partner was until I left it. Like, the whole time we were together, I never decided anything for myself or what I wanted to do, except for this transition. I found myself on a motorcycle. I came home and I ran with it. And it was the one thing I ever did for myself without asking her permission. And we ended up getting separated, and she ended up taking me to the fucking cleaners. Not just for a little while, for the rest of my life. She expects me to pay her alimony for the rest of my life and take half my pension. Which means after a 20-plus year career doing a job I didn't want to do, that I took to support my children and my family, that I could do in the middle of the night so I could work for them during the day. And she's taking that away from me so that I can never stop working, even though she never has to start. It's a fucked up situation, and it makes me upset. And my father dying has just brought all these emotions to the forefront, and I didn't want to come on my little happy videos and be all like, wonk wonk, like fucking everything sucks and everything's so hard. But that's real, right? The parts of life do suck, and they are hard. And this is why we do things like this, to clear that out. Otherwise, life gets overwhelming. And there's been points in it where I don't want to do it anymore. But, like, you know, what do you do? Like, and I've talked to my therapist about that. It's like, I would never harm myself and hurt my mom like that. But they're like, what about when your mom's gone? Like, when my mom's gone, I have no housing. I have no savings. I have half my pension. Like, what am I gonna do? It's terrifying. So I can try to think of alternatives and different ways to live that maybe aren't normal or the standard. But my other option is to just give up and die. And I mean, to some people, I know this riding bikes is a triviality. It's just a fun hobby. But to me, it's life-saving. It's life-changing. It's saved my fucking life. No matter how dangerous it is being out here on this machine. I would have killed myself a long time ago if I hadn't have found this outlet and discovered who I am and who I want to be. And that's the thing that keeps me going, is this province and exploring it. And for 40 years, I took it for granted. I didn't even stop to look at how lucky I am to be here. So I think that's my future, is when I do retire, I'll probably trade my car in for like a van or a little camperized van, something I can sleep in. Put my little TW Yoshi on the back, put my pup Peanut inside, and just hit the fucking road. Like, I can't afford rent, I can't afford to buy a place, I can't afford land, I can barely afford gasoline. But if I'm on the move, if I'm moving, I'm happy. And there's something about the road, there's something about this province. Fulfills me. Where I haven't found that fulfillment in anything else I've done, including being a parent, including being a partner. And yeah, that kind of makes me feel bad. But like, the typical life isn't made for everybody. It's not meant for everyone. And I see that I'm not a standard human being. It's things like I had everything that society tells you to have to be fulfilled. I had a home, I had the children, I had the partner, I had the job with a union and a pension. And I was miserable. And now I have nothing. I have a dog. I have motorcycles. And it brings me more. It fills me more than that life I was living for everyone but me. Right? And I don't know, it does sound selfish. It does, maybe it has an air of narcissism, which I've heard people that have gone through childhood abuse and find the only stability they have is in themselves. The only person that respects them is themselves, and it can appear to be sort of narcissistic. But I've asked therapists in the past, and I'm going to approach the subject with this new one too, is that me? Right? Am I a narcissist? Am I a shitty person? And they said it in their experience. They've never had an actual narcissist come into therapy and be worried that they're a narcissist and be worried about what other people think of them. Because that's not a trait that narcissists have. They don't see themselves as a narcissist, and they don't give a fuck about anyone else. So I don't think that's me, and I do think that is all a projection from my ex. And I do believe that's cost me any chance of having a decent relationship with my children. And the hard part of all that is being okay with it and letting it go. Because we're hardwired not to abandon our children, right? But if I'm the bad guy in all this, if I've been made out to be the thing that caused so much pain and so much anguish, and I'm just, it's like, how can I fix that, right? Like, how can, like, that's what I told them too, like, isn't it extremely unhealthy for me to chase the approval of people that will never give it to me unconditionally? Like, there's always going to be a condition, and there's always going to be like oh, remember you did, or, you know. And so, like, if I have to take this hit for them to move forward and be happy, then that's what you do. You sacrifice for your children. So if I have to be the one sacrificed on some kind of altar for them to be able to get over their past and move forward, then I guess that's what I have to do, right? And that's, maybe I can't save that, maybe I can't fix that, I can't change that, but maybe I can learn enough to be better in the future and work on developing future relationships and being better at them. And I think part of the core of that is my substance abuse. I need to stop. I'm trying to stop. It's fucking hard. I said this has been my crutch since I was 16, and it's developed into so much more than a crutch. Like, it's really like a fucking floating chair from WALL-E that has, like, it can go up and down stairs, it can take me places, it's got a TV on it, like, it's just heat massage. Like, it's such a support in a negative way. And I have this opportunity with my upcoming surgery. They want you to be free of smoking. They're like, you can go to edibles. Edibles don't work for me anyway. But I have to be intubated. They have to put a tube down my throat to help me breathe. And they said smoking really fucks that up and really makes it more difficult. So they request that you stop smoking cannabis products for a month before your surgery date. 3 weeks to a month. Cigarettes, it's more like three to 4 months. And so what I'm really trying and hoping for is I'm weaning myself down. I'm not buying disposable vape pens anymore. I just have the little bit of home grass that my brother built that my brother grew. It's not super potent, but it gives me the habit. So I'm trying to wean myself down, like, you know, maybe a couple joints a day instead of like if you're like, well, a couple joints a day is still a lot, like that's nothing. Like I smoke a lot of fucking weed, and it's had an effect. It has an effect. It's fucked shit up, and I need to approach this world and this exploration of this province without that crutch. I need to do it on my own. And I'm hoping that I just, after my surgery, I don't start again. I take that 3 weeks beforehand, month beforehand, and all the time I'm healing, and I just don't pick it up again is what I'm hoping for. And I know there's probably going to be relapses and slips, especially because it's so available in Canada. Like, you can just go to any store in any town and buy weed. Like, it's really easy to get, which is what I'm saying. Like, it's an easy problem to solve, not having weed. So I can see how that hijacks your problem-solving capabilities, because it's an easy problem to solve. And yeah, so those are the dark thoughts. Those are the sad things. I still, like, and all this happened after I pronounced 2026 as my year of positivity. It's just like, like, I can't catch a fucking break. The universe hates me for some reason. Like, I can't even plan a camping trip without it raining. so I don't know. But I'm determined. Like, I am determined to the point of being stubborn. But I don't want to give up. I want to make this as good as I can. And at the very least, like, getting my addiction under control might show my children that I listened and I heard what they were telling me, and I took it to heart, and I'm trying. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that fucked them up so bad. Because I know what it's like to grow up with someone who is just blitzed all the time. But I said I was kind of talking about this a little bit with the guys I met at lunch, and one of them's a first responder, and he's like, like, I have never been to a call where someone smoked too much weed and beat the shit out of their partner. Like, he's like, that's a daily call with alcohol, right? So in my mind, I was making a positive change, but to them, they didn't know the difference. So to them, it was still someone choosing a substance over them. And that's terrible. That makes me feel terrible. That was never my intention. I only had good and noble intentions with those children. And anyone who's witnessed their child being born knows that feeling of overwhelming love the minute you see them. You don't need to get to know them. It's just built right into you. And I never meant to fuck them up. But at the end of the day, they were telling me some of these things that have happened to them in their lives, and they went to their mom and talked to her about it, and their mom never told me. So it's like, yeah, like, I could see how you think that I didn't care, but I didn't know. Like, like, you're painting me out to be this horrible person, but there's another person in that relationship that was sabotaging ours the whole time to make herself look better, so she could be the favorite. And her mom did the same thing. Like, everyone growing up thought her dad was such a fucking asshole, when in reality, after they split up, he wasn't, like, he was actually a decent guy. He was really depressed because she was taking full advantage of him. And, like, my bleeding heart, empathetic nature, like, I see how that happened to my ex. Like, she grew up thinking that's normal. And I grew up thinking looking for an escape in a substance was normal. So you put those two things together, an extremely manipulative person with a personality disorder and an extremely depressed, confused, messed up person with a substance abuse problem, and you give them 3 children in their 20s. Like, how could it end? How could that turn out better? Like, that, it was doomed from the start. So many regrets over it. Like, my daughters are good people.
they're working their way through these things the best they can, and I've told them this many times, and I believe it from my heart. Like, this world is a better place with them in it than without it. So I don't regret that they were born. I do think we did it too early. I do think I didn't have any time to figure myself out before I dove into parenthood without the tools to do it properly. While I was using this crutch to get through life myself, how am I supposed to teach people the right way to live when I have no idea how to do it either? So, anyway, that's my story. And that's what I've been struggling with since the beginning of this year. But this year I'm going to go get and see Atlan. I am gonna have that really great road trip. I am gonna come back. I'm gonna have this surgery. I'm gonna finish this transition. I'm gonna change my job. I'm gonna join groups. I'm gonna try to meet people. And so it's like a introductory year of positivity. Because I think, and I've been saying this for years, but I honestly think with all these changes I'm trying to make, you know, finishing the transition, cutting out the cannabis, working on relationships, accepting myself, stepping into the daylight, getting off night shift, stopping that excuse of, oh, I can't because of my hours, I can't because of my work. Like, I can change my work, I can change my hours. It's in my power to change that. So that's what I'm working on this year. And hopefully from 2027 on, things will get better for me. I will be a happier person. I'll have more in my life than motorcycles and my puppy. Even though I will always love them so much. They're very special things to me. These bikes bring me experiences that I would never experience without them. Like I said, even the smell of cow shit has become a positive because of motorcycles. Like, so they are very important. My puppy is very important. I love him to pieces. But I have a lot in my heart. I have a lot of love to share with people. It's kind of why I chose my name. Like, love is what I want from the world. It's what I want to give to the world. I have a lot of it to give. I've been so fucked over because of my openness and my empathy and my willingness to put myself behind the needs of others. And it's just got me abused. And so that makes you gun shy, makes you retreat. And like one of my coworkers told me, she's like, not everybody's like that. And it's hard for me to get that in my head because it sure fucking seems like it. Like, just about everyone I've met has been a fucking tit in some way or another. And yeah, it taints your whole perspective of all that stuff. Wow, I hope you guys can hear me because it's incredibly fucking windy out here, man. I pour my heart out and you guys can't hear a fucking word. That would suck. But anyway, on to better things, right? I can't live in the past. I can't change the past. I can't fix the past. that I can work on a better future. And that's what my therapist said, is like, I have a lot more years behind me than ahead of me at this point. It's like, I'm looking for love in all the wrong places, and I don't have enough time to fuck around. I've got to make changes. So that's what 2026 is. A year for changes. Introductory year of positivity. And hopefully starting after this surgery is finished and I'm healed from it. Hopefully a whole new life will start for me. And if any of you are curious, you're always welcome to come and check in and see how the fuck this messed up trans girl's doing. At least it's got to make you feel like your life is okay, right? Alright, but I've rambled on long enough about my woes, and I did not bring any extra batteries. I just packed my shit and ran out the house this morning. So I'm gonna let it go there, and I'm just heading back now. So thank you all for joining me and listening to my wonks. And gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. Take care, guys. Next time I talk to you, I'll probably be heading to the campground with my little puppy Peanut. And enjoy some holidays. And hopefully get out of my head a little bit. Alright. Talk to y'all soon. Love ya. Bye.